Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnicht Buick GMC Sports Update. So the Jaguars are traveling to Tennessee this week to play against the Titans, final regular season game, obviously. And it has no meaning to them because they're going to be the third seed. It doesn't matter. But I still think it's important to win this game. Why? The last thing you want to do is limp into the playoffs. That's the first thing. But I think they've got to prove to themselves that they're a different team than they showed last week in San Francisco. They don't have to show the league or the Titans and all the rhetoric about, okay, they won the division, but they didn't beat us at all. I mean, forget all that. Jaguars are going to the playoffs. They're going to have a home game coming up. They need to prove to themselves through some good veteran leadership and the coaches putting them in the right frame of mind that they're the team that beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're the team that beat the Seattle Seahawks here. They're the team that dismantled the Houston Texans, not the team that lost their composure, lost their poise, and ultimately lost the game against San Francisco. They're not that team that Tennessee ran all over at the beginning of the year. They've got a lot to prove to themselves because once it gets to January, the whole thing changes. All the teams are good. Everybody has expectations. Everybody's a little bit on edge. And the Jaguars showed that on edge, facing adversity, that they crumbled. They need to be able to prove to themselves in an adverse situation, it's supposed to be cold, against a good team, division opponent that's a rugged opponent Sunday, that they can get the job done. Now, I said I think it's important that they win the game. I do, 49%. How about play well? They can't lose this game 44-33. And they can lose this game 24-21. But they've got to play well. They've got to solidify what's happening defensively against the run, put some pressure, obviously, on the backfield, particularly Marcus Mariota. I think they've got to run the football fairly effectively to give themselves some confidence and, most importantly, a little momentum going into the next week at home. Very different situation playing a playoff game at home, particularly in Jacksonville, because the weather will probably, be, I won't say warm, but acceptable. It won't be 6 degrees. Because if the Jaguars do win that first playoff game, they're most likely going to play in Pittsburgh. No, they will play in Pittsburgh, where it'll be cold. And if they win there, they'll play in New England, where it'll be colder. So important to watch how they play this week. Maybe not necessarily what the final score is, but how they play this week, I think is important. I'm Sam Kavaris, and that's the Nimnicht Buick GMC Sports Update.